Hello and welcome to 3 Points. My name is Matt Meaney.
Joe Marrone.
Ryan Buchan.
And today we're going to spin a wheel and decide what we're talking about. But before we do that, I need to give a shout out to Tyler Hero, who is the first player ever to have an NBA All-Star Award and a Jack Harlow song named after him.
He also has a cereal that I have a box of in my room.
Tyler Hero, everybody.
Tyler Hero-O's. Okay.
And Dan is going to tell us what this is, right?
Or like at least when it stops spinning.
Is it spinning? That's Dan Greene in the studio. He's our producer.
Favorite element on the periodic table.
Joe, get us started here.
A little known fact about me, I'm actually a chemistry major. My favorite element on the periodic table is the element thorium.
Tell us about
Like Marvel?
So anyway, no, thorium...
You know what? Let's guess what thorium is.
Okay.
Yeah, I like this.
Is it one of the elements on like that bottom row, like a man-made element?
It actually... So, those aren't man-made, but yes.
It's on that, like, bottom, like, segregation row?
Yeah. Well, there's two rows that are segregated.
Why are they segregated?
There's the gases on the left side.
No, but
No.
But like on the bottom though, right? There's two that are.
Yeah.
Why? Like, how did
Oh,
they?
well, okay, so... if you can look at, like, an extended periodic table, and they're actually just attached in, like, the middle, and it's, like, a long-ass thing, but that would be, like, really long. So they just cut them off and then slap them on the bottom.
Oh, I understand.
It's just for viewing, yeah.
Okay.
But are they? I thought they were man-made. I thought that was or lab-made.
No.
Not natural.
No, it depends on the element. Some of them are...
But like Einsteinium is a real thing.
Well, yeah, they're all real things. Like, even if it's made in a lab, it's still a real thing.
No, they're actually
But
fictitious.
I'm saying like I can't go out in nature and find Einsteinium.
Well, yeah, for those it'd be, like, very trace amounts. But
So that's what I'm saying.
No, not... So those are the actinides and lanthanides on the bottom. That's the class of compound they are. Those, for the most part, are not man-made. Because, like, uranium is on that list. Like, uranium is a thing we can just, like, go out and find.
Okay.
Thorium is the same way. You could, like... There's thorium mines out there where you get it.
Is thorium a gas, a solid?
It's a solid.
What is it?
Can it be everything though?
It's technically a metal. What?
Can't like any
Alkaline
element
metal.
be all three?
Alkaline metal.
What do you mean?
Like gas, liquid, and solid.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like water.
Yeah.
It's like it could be all three. But like whenever we say like, is it a solid? Is it a solid at room temperature?
Oh, so room temperature is the
Room
standard.
temperature is like the standard. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So thorium.
The thing that's
It's a
cool
solid.
about thorium, it's a solid. It's you can use it for like nuclear power, similar to uranium, but it's safer, and it produces more power than uranium generally.
So why aren't we doing that? Like
It's just like a new process. Well, people are like really scared of nuclear power in general, which I think is goofy personally.
Are you a fan of nuclear power?
I'm a huge fan.
Ryan, do you endorse nuclear power?
I don't endorse it nor disendorse it. I just am pretty
All right,
mutual
I'm
on
going to
it.
say that 2/3. I'm going to go ahead and endorse it. So do we have 2/3
Well,
of
we
3 point?
well, it's kind of like a 2 out of 2, and then we have one abstention over there.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion on nuclear power. I apologize.
So the official stance of 3 points is that we are pro-nuclear energy.
I'm not saying I'm opposed.
yeah, but you couldn't say you were for it either.
So
So,
that-
Well, yeah, I don't know enough to have a real point.
All right, but the official stance stands
Sure,
for just
sure.
abstaining in this.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll abstain. Whatever.
All right.
My favorite element? Zinc.
Why?
why is it zinc?
Because I think of like the typical like Baywatch lifeguard sunscreen movies, and I think that's funny. I really have no other reason.
You know Zinc was in a Phineas and Ferb episode? Yeah.
Great show.
Yeah.
Do you know I saw a reel the other day that the P, like Phineas and Ferb are both designed as a P and an F,
Yeah.
But-
that makes sense.
but like they didn't realize they did that
Oh,
until they put like, if you look at a Phineas and Ferb logo, Phineas is the P and F is the Ferb. No, wait, Ferb is the F. Like on the actual logo for
Yes.
the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't realize that until after they did it.
I
Really?
feel like they have to had known that. Like that's what they were doing.
Well, like when I think of Phineas, I think of like a Dorito. I don't think of a pea necessarily.
Yeah,
Because
it's
he's a triangle.
It's a
but-
pretty
yeah.
sharp P.
Yeah, it's a sharp P.
Yes. Did you see the same reel I saw the other day? Probably, he probably did.
Yeah. Does anyone follow? Who is it? Is it Swamp? No, Dan Povenmire is the guy that's on.
Yeah.
He's a great follow.
Yeah, he's a good follow. Does 3 Points officially endorse him as
Yeah,
a
I would endorse as a creator.
as a
like,
creator?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Assuming. Never mind.
Didn't a new season of Phineas and Ferb come out?
Did it drop yet?
I don't.
Okay.
It's definitely on the way.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Do you guys watch Phineas and Ferb in the Second Dimension?
Yes.
That movie.
Yes.
Great movie.
Great movie.
I had a video game for the
Yes.
for the
I did too.
Nintendo
Yes,
DS.
yes.
Yes.
Good, nice.
Yes.
I think they had some of the greatest collabs, like with like all those Disney shows. Them and the Avengers collab,
Marvel,
I thought was great.
Star Wars.
They really like ruled Disney XD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's their network.
I think
Yes.
like Phineas and Ferb is to Disney XD as the Yankees are to baseball and the Celtics are to basketball.
Wait, what? I don't.
Like Phineas and Ferb is the dynasty of Disney XD. You know, like you think Disney XD,
I
you
think Kick
Phineas and
Patowski.
Ferb.
Yeah. It's like
No, that's just not true.
Kate Patowski was that one show that would like pull up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, and that's like a. I
I'm-
don't know,
no,
it's like
Phi-
a Suns.
Phineas
you
and
know,
Ferb
it's
is my
there.
peak, but I'm not comparing it in that fashion. Like, just is like it's
well,
not.
it's just like SpongeBob is like the face of Nickelodeon,
Right.
and it like SpongeBob kind of like killed Nickelodeon in a way because it's like I'd watch Nickelodeon, you know, Sunday or Saturday morning as a kid, and it'd be like all SpongeBob, and they just like pushed out every other show they had
That is true.
for SpongeBob.
But SpongeBob's also he's more like a Tom Brady though, because you know like he could leave and bring the following with him.
More like a Patrick Mahomes.
No, the podcast does not endorse Patrick Mahomes at
No,
all.
we're all
The 3 picks official pick for the Super Bowl is
Eagles.
Eagles.
Regretfully,
Why regretfully?
yeah. Well,
because I'm a Giants.
Oh,
fan.
well,
yeah.
so
What's
so
your prejudice against the Eagles?
against the Eagles? They're just assholes.
I disagree. I don't understand where this
I
notation
yeah,
comes
I don't really get behind that. I just don't
Well,
like the Eagles.
well, just like the fans are obnoxious and annoying.
coming from a Boston sports fan.
Yeah, but like, at least Boston sports are cool. Like
I'm taking
I
Philly
fully-
sports over Boston sports.
That's-
any
I
day of the
actually
week.
can't get behind
That's
that.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
and
any day
like,
of the week.
as a New York fan.
because you also have to look at like these exact teams. Like if we're saying Boston sports versus Philly sports, like yeah, the Celtics fans are assholes, and the Bruins fans are assholes, but it's like Red Sox fans, I feel like don't have that perception. Like they've been.
that is
so-
not true. That is objectively not true.
I feel like they've been so downtrodden for the entire existence, being the underdog to the Yankees, that it's just not the same thing.
Black players do not play in Boston because of the Red Sox fans. Like that's just a known thing.
Look, I don't have a defense for that one, but
Ryan, just to be clear, as a Mets fans, you're saying you'd rather take the Phillies
I think I have
over
like
the
a
Red
weird,
Sox.
Again, I say I like the Red Sox team more than I like the Phillies, but I have maybe it's because I don't have like a real prejudice, as I am not like a Giants or like an NFC East fan of that. I can acknowledge that they have a great fan base that is very passionate, and that's where I'm coming from here.
well, if we're talking about passion, like those are like top three in all of sports. Is like in no particular order: Boston, New York, Philly.
Yes.
See, if I was drafting like, I would take the Phillies over the Red Sox just because I can't support the Red Sox. But overall, Boston has a better sports landscape than Philly. Like
Well-
think about the Flyers. You know, the Flyers are not as relevant.
Ryan has
relevant as
this
the Bruins.
weird hatred of the Flyers, though, that I don't get. Like,
I also do, but
I feel like they're the least
Because
offensive of all the Philly teams
as a kid,
out there.
as a Islanders lad, let's call it the 2020 bubble playoffs. The Islanders, I threw my phone against the wall over the Islanders almost blowing a series lead.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole the 2010s, they were never great. They made the finals once, but they were always weirdly competitive, and I just didn't enjoy that.
Well, in all fairness, if there's one team that's gonna blow any type of lead, it's gonna be the New York Islanders.
Okay, big guy. What? That's a
There's
crazy
really
shade.
there's really no defense for that actually.
Yeah, there really isn't.
The Bruins are a great NHL hockey team.
Yeah.
Not this season.
Well, just in general, they're a great NHL hockey team. Not talking about the 24-25 season.
When are you gonna are you willing to admit that Jeremy Swayman may be the most overplayed player in NHL history?
He's the problem.
They can't do it. They actually
okay.
can't do it.
I think he
Just say it.
in NHL
Say
history.
it.
I don't know,
Say it.
but he is extremely overpaid.
Say it.
But the problem is that
Say it.
I wouldn't have based off of his 23-24 playoffs performance, I would have said, "Oh, that's a very reasonable price." And going into the season, everyone was like, "Oh, that's a reasonable." At least the Bruins fans.
No, actually,
No,
there was
no
no
one said this.
There were Bruin fans on an island that were like, "This is a reasonable price to pay," and everyone
Yes.
outside that was like,
Exactly.
no."
And
On the island of Cape Cod.
Yes,
but he played fantastic in the playoffs, and then
that is less than half a season that you'd pay a guy record-setting numbers just because you're like, all right, he played 16 games and he was great, if that.
We can look at the Igor deal. When Igor's deal
Yes.
dropped, I was appalled. But recently he's been performing. But still, he these numbers are ridiculous. This is giving the opposite of the running back market from last year, where
Yes.
no one was getting paid, and now everyone's getting paid way too much.
see, I do think he's overpaid. The reason I'm not that upset about it is because if you look at the Bruins this year, the problem is not the goaltending. It's just everything else.
You blew half your cap space on 3 defenders,
Exactly.
and none of them do anything.
We're paying Nikita Zadorov millions of dollars to stand there while everyone scores on him.
Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing, Joe. If you're goaltending isn't the only problem, that's fine. But if my house is burning down and I get fired from my job, it doesn't make the house burning down less bad. You know what I mean? Just because I have other stuff going on, clearly.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying I'm not. That's not my primary concern right now. Is the goaltending because, yeah, I'm overpaying right now, but if I'm overpaying for a product that can function properly, I'm not. That's not as upsetting as
right, but
everything else.
The point is that Jeremy Swayman cannot function properly.
No, he's been playing very well as of late.
Okay, but when you first paid him, his season numbers are not going to be worth the money overall.
Because the whole issue is that the Bruins played the whole situation awfully.
Yes.
Other than the number, I don't agree with that.
You trade Jonas Korpisalo to the Senators for a bag of chips. And other way.
Linus
You trade Linus
Ullmark.
Ullmark, you get Jonas Korpisalo.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Swayman has all the leverage in the world because he knows that he is the guy now. That's where they're going to target the negotiations.
But
What is stopping him from asking for the price he did? Nothing.
Here's the problem though with that is say that we re-sign Jeremy Swayman first, then we know if Jeremy Swayman has his $8 million a year contract, Linus Ullmark's not getting re-signed. So now all 31 NHL teams that potentially want Linus Ullmark know, we're gonna get him for peanuts because they need to trade him away to somebody.
You still did give him away for peanuts though. That doesn't change.
Right. It's a lose-lose situation that way. Unless we made the two deals at the same time, which would have been better, but also harder to pull off.
I think you shouldn't have traded Ullmark. Am I wrong to
But
say
here's
that?
the problem.
I would agree with
Ullmark can't perform in the playoffs either, though. He can't perform in the playoffs, and he's been hurt for half the season now.
So having Linus Ullmark to play a regular season, and then Jeremy Swayman to play in the postseason.
Well, that's what we did, and then lost to the Panthers.
But then you just gave up on that. Anyway,
speaking of Jeremy Swayman, let's talk about the Four Nations roster. I genuinely think, here's my predictions. Sweden is last. I think Finland is third, but a competitive third. I generally think that Canada's goaltending will be the downfall, and I think they get second.
Well, so what is the format for that tournament? Is it double elimination?
No clue.
No, I think it's round robin. They play each other.
Okay.
And then...
Is it normal?
Hold on.
Is it like normal game times and regulation? Like, because this is in replace of All-Star Weekend, correct?
Is it alongside, I thought?
No, there's no All-Star Weekend.
Okay.
So, like, what's going to happen is they're going to play this, but usually, like, the All-Star game is a day, and they play, like, 3-on-3, 5-minute period games, and they get it all done in a day.
Okay, so
Obviously,
everybody plays each other,
okay.
and then I think the two top teams play in the championship game.
Oh, so the round robin goes straight into the championship.
Do we have a time frame on this?
It's like a 5-day event, I think.
It starts Wednesday, February 12th, Canada versus Sweden, and then it goes until Thursday, February 20th, which is the chip game at 8 at 8 on ESPN Plus. Hashtag not spawn.
Of course it's ESPN Plus. But
Well, it's also on ESPN though.
But it's gonna be on like ESPN 2. Like it's not gonna be on a national broadcast.
No, because it's hockey.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, but because it's on ESPN Plus, it'll just end up on Disney Plus like everything does now.
This is what, because the NHLers couldn't play in the Winter Olympics 2 years ago. So this is the first time you're having like national competition amongst teams in like since Sochi, maybe, like those Olympics.
It's been a very long time.
Like and we're gonna put this John on ESPN Plus.
The NBA is dying right now because of this. You have
Yes.
NBA League Pass.
Yes.
That's terrible. They're hemorrhaging out. They're bleeding. No one's stopping it. And the NHL is just like, let's shoot ourselves in the foot.
It's actually the NBA has such the market to just throw everything on national broadcast, but they're
Yes.
just feeding out to like these random streaming services for like an extra little bag. It's awful.
That's why no one watches the NBA. But, sorry, Tyler Hero, we love you, and please sponsor the show.
I watch the NBA.
Joe, do you watch the NBA?
I do not watch the NBA. I follow the Celtics very, very loosely.
You don't even know about Peyton Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard?
Did I say his name right?
The guy. I think there lies the argument. Yeah.
Okay, big guy.
Sixth man of the year.
I didn't get my element yet, but just to throw it in there, it's I have to go uranium.
Okay.
I'm just hopping on the more like mainstream nuclear power, which again, 3 points does endorse nuclear energy.
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Krypton?
And is that?
Krypton is a noble gas. Yeah, that's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
He thought it wasn't real.
It's not like
I
it's
didn't
not like
know.
the planet though.
So what's
The fake planet.
what's the difference between the planet and the element?
Well, considering the planet is a fictional thing that blew up in DC.
It blew up. Wait
Yeah.
a second.
Wait, Superman is.
Alderaan and Krypton are both gone.
Is that the same universe?
Canonically,
Are you a DC? I honestly like. I obviously know. Like,
Alderaan is Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Alderaan
I
is
am a DC guy.
Princess Leia's home planet.
What's up? Gone forever.
Alderaan or Jenna Fisher?
I mean both, but I was going for Alderaan.
Alderaan, like, hypothetically, is a bigger loss. I mean, there's like millions of people that died.
Jenna Fisher has been in movies more recently than Alderaan. I don't know if I can say that.
That's true. 'Cause
That is
she was
true,
in
though,
the,
right?
the
Sequels.
best.
Carrie Fisher is Princess
Jenna
Leia.
Fisher's
Jenna
Pam.
Fisher is a different actress.
Yes, I meant Carrie Fisher, who is also a Family Guy alum. Carrie Fisher been in movies more recently than Alderaan. Can someone confirm that?
Her best movie, arguably, was Episode 8. I can't remember what it's supposed to be called, other than Episode 8.
Force Awakens.
The Last Jedi.
The Last
Jedi. Okay.
And then Rise of Skywalker.
But she wasn't in the last one, I think.
No.
I don't.
I believe
could
episode
not
8
tell
was
you
her
if she
last
was or not.
appearance. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Now hearing it, that does sound
That
correct.
definitely makes sense.
Yes.
Formerly married to James Gunn, director of
Really?
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, I'm in the divorce now.
And the new Superman movie.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'll watch it.
Is he
probably.
doing that new Spider-Man show?
That just
Or
came
is
out?
that someone else?
The one that just came out?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that's someone else. I could be wrong, though.
Who's
don't know.
doing Brave New World? Captain America.
Could not tell you.
Dan.
It's going to be an awful movie.
No, I can't wait. I can't wait to see another, Star Wars star. Harrison Ford play Red Hulk. That'll be the peak of my year.
I am totally blanking on his name, but another Star Wars star who plays Poe Dameron. Why am I blanking on his name?
Oh,
It just was he kind of a star.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a star.
I have still yet to watch Moon Knight season 1,
I
so I have
Yeah.
to do it. I heard it was fantastic. But-
Dan, please.
Oscar Isaac.
Moon Knight was definitely my favorite MCU TV show. I think it was better than WandaVision,
Oh, hold on.
but other
Alright,
people
wait,
think
hold on,
Loki is
wait.
better.
Let's get the
Sorry,
director
yeah.
of Brave New World first. Do we have that up? It's gonna be terrible.
Couldn't
No
say.
one knows that.
Julius Ona?
I thought WandaVision, obviously I have not watched Moon Knight yet. If we're going to put into tiers, Loki is a tier of its own as well. Like, I'm putting that in the upper echelon. But WandaVision was fantastic.
It was phenomenal.
I loved
yeah.
WandaVision.
I have to be completely honest. I have not seen any of these shows. So
You're the
it's-
worst.
I've only seen WandaVision.
Because,
actually,
what?
yeah,
You
like,
haven't seen Loki?
no,
Oh.
because
Oh.
I think they've gotten too far away from where the food is made. You know what I mean? Like,
No,
we're
but,
just
then they brought you back into the kitchen with Loki.
I hadn't
No,
seen
the-
Loki. However, Loki in Marvel Rivals, fantastic character. One of my favorites. Probably my
3
main.
points does not endorse Marvel
the-
Rivals.
Yeah, absolutely
3
not.
points does.
The
in
thi-
fact,
the-
You're 2 to
Marvel
1 on
Rivals
this. You're
and
2 to
Brawl
1 on this.
Stars.
The thing with WandaVision was that it was coming out week by week, and that's why I enjoyed it so much. Like, it was week by
Yes.
week. There were so many mysteries and cliffhangers that I would binge watch that with you, Joe, if you wanted to rewatch that.
See, I'm personally of the opinion I like when they just put the entire series out at once. I don't like.
You can't wait for it. You have a dopamine addiction.
Well,
Joe.
yes, and that's why I prefer to just have it all.
If you were born in the 70s, you would have been dead. You would have actually bled out of dopamine loss.
Yeah.
Like, that's why we have. What I don't like is that it feels like the streaming services are just becoming cable too. That's what it feels like. Like, cable is
Yeah.
like. Yeah, you have to wait for things.
Do you have cable?
I used to have cable.
So you don't
Now-
have cable anymore?
Now I got the Hulu Plus, Disney Plus deal thing.
Okay.
Would you endorse that?
I would endorse that. The only
Okay.
problem with that is, again, as a Boston sports fan, it's really hard to watch any Boston sports at all because Nesson has a fucking. Oh,
Yeah, also, shout
sorry.
out MSG
Let's
for taking
that out.
off the Islanders. Wait, that was MSG, right?
No, Optimum cut.
Yeah,
MSG.
It was, yeah. So but I'm gonna blame MSG here. Shout out MSG
Yeah,
for ending their
actually,
contract
yes.
with Optimum and making it 8 times more difficult to watch a New York Islanders game.
We actually reverse endorse MSG.
Yes, I would have endorsed MSG last year, but no longer.
That-
Daniel has something.
Dan,
to
yeah,
say.
Dan has something to say.
YouTube TV is better because the downfall of Hulu is every time you go somewhere, you have to like change your location, so you can't actually watch the live TV and stuff unless you're
you
at the
have
same
YouTube TV?
location for a prolonged period of time. No, Coven did,
Shout out
but
Coven.
Pat
Shout out
McAfee was
Coven.
talking about this the other day.
But Hulu has live sports.
That's
Not,
the
not
ad.
sponsored.
That's what
do
they've
they
been,
even,
that's what they've
like,
been telling us.
They don't really though. Like, they just have
Yeah.
ESPN Plus.
That's what. I
Which
think
is
it means.
bundled with.
Shout out Pat McAfee.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
by technicality.
I think Pat McAfee may be one of the greatest sports creators I've ever seen in my life.
If Pat McAfee wants to come on 3 Points, we'd be more than happy to have him. Actually,
Like, did you see his rant about the Colts?
Which
yes.
one?
It was at the end of the season when they collapsed against. It was the Jets, right? Or, no, it was the Giants.
It was the Giants.
And he
Yep.
was like, "I'm selling my season tickets. There's no grit. People are calling me out. I've been such a fan and endorser, and he was like, I'm canceling my season ticket subscription for the first time in like 10 years. Not thrilled.
As a Giants fan, not thrilled that the Colts decided they would not show up that day. Actually,
I thought it was pretty funny because like now your fate falls in the hands of two of the most incompetent franchises in the NFL.
So they're going to take the worst players off the board right away. Like, that is a plus of this. You know, if we're looking at it.
I still think that the Giants do go out positive with their first round pick. Like, you think they're going to go for a quarterback?
We were talking about this last night, actually. I think it depends on what the market shapes up to be. Like, if the two incompetent Titans and Browns draft Shador and Cam, then I think we wind up going for like a Travis Hunter. I don't think you reach and take a Jackson Dart or even a Jalen Milroe there.
Future Giant Russell Wilson. That's my prediction.
Hey, I'd be fine with that, low key.
But say one of those is still on the board. You grab one of those.
I think one of those gets taken if one of them is still on the board. Preferably Cam Ward.
I think you should tank for the Arch Manning sweepstakes.
Now, I'm all for that because we know how Mannings do. In Giant Blue. So
I'd preferably
best football family.
The Mannings,
history.
100%.
I think so.
easily.
Like without a doubt, the best football family. I don't like the Kelseys are heavily carried by Jason, but the Mannings are the best. Period.
I don't think.
I mean, they have two generations of greatness too.
Soon to be three.
Soon to be
Yes.
three.
Where do we realistically think Arch goes?
Like, it has to be the Giants.
I don't think he goes to the Giants. I could see him ending up like, you know.
It's a team that needs a quarterback in 2 years potentially.
Yeah.
So
maybe no, because maybe the Raiders.
Maybe
could
the
be the
Jets.
Raiders. Could be the Jets actually.
That would be awful.
That is
Could
really
be.
true.
It very well could be though.
Yeah.
No, because I think they're going to go into win now mode with Aaron Glenn. That's his name, right?
Aaron Glenn. Yeah.
Like he's going to set a very high bar for no reason. Like realistically, if they have a mid off season, lose a couple guys, gain a couple guys, and they get coached right, they could be a wild card team.
That's like 5 ifs though. I think, like, realistically, who is the Jets quarterback for week 1?
Could not tell you.
Like, is it Aaron Rodgers? Is it Tyrod Taylor? Is it going to be
Russell Wilson?
See, the
better
problem
not be
with
Russell Wilson?
the problem with the New York Jets is that they need to succeed with the least amount of ifs possible. Because any if, there's like a 90% chance that it just doesn't go their way.
That is true.
They need as many things as certain as possible.
Yes.
Do we think there will be any big pick trades?
I think
if anyone's to do it, it's the Browns. I think they like a Trey Lance Niners type deal trade.
Mm-hmm. And those always work out great. So if I was the Browns, I would go for it.
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose, actually. The lower down you draft if you're the Browns, the better. Because you're not going to waste your first round pick on somebody terrible.
That is true. Where do we think Riley Leonard goes?
New York Giants. We're gonna get Jackson Dart. We're gonna get Riley Leonard. Then we're gonna get Arch Manning the year after, and then Lenora Sellers. So we're gonna have 4 quarterbacks.
I think they should just change the draft so that the Giants just get to pick all of their draft picks, like one after the other right at the start, and then everyone else goes after them.
I like that.
So what are your thoughts on the Broncos' direction?
I'm very, very happy with the Broncos right now. I mean, they overperformed, and they lost the Bills as most people expected.
They beat the Chiefs.
What? They did beat the Chiefs
in a fair regular season game.
One of 2 teams in the National Football League to beat the Chiefs this season. Hopefully 3 after next week.
Yes. I think all I want to see the Rams do is just sign a cornerback. That's generally, and maybe draft Jackson Dart in the 3rd round.
Sorry, you guys have Stetson Bennett?
Nope.
And Jimmy G?
Stetson Bennett will be gone, hopefully. Jimmy G, because we're going to just pick up some random veteran. Like that's
You
what we
guys are
do
gonna
every
get Drew
season.
Lock. It's gonna be Drew Lock.
I would want Sam Howell from the
Ooh.
Seahawks. I would want that if he gets released.
Or you know who's gonna be on the board again?
No.
Jameis.
Oh, I would love Jameis in a Rams jersey. That would be electric. And then 100%. Have Jackson Dart sit behind Jameis Winston and Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
What a QB room.
All I want to say is I believe. I believe in Bo Nix.
That was bad.
Is Bo Nix the next Justin Herbert?
Yes.
I love Justin Herbert.
Because
love
he's
Bo Nix.
stuck in the Mahomes shadow of the
Yeah.
AFC West.
It's The AFC West is just always frustrating in the Mahomes era.
The Mahomes era.
Yeah, well, that's what we're in right now.
Yeah.
He is probably the greatest quarterback of all time.
But regardless, AFC West teams still lose to not the Chiefs in the playoffs.
Yeah, who did the Chargers lose?
Chargers
to?
lost to the Texans.
Texans.
You
Yeah.
guys lost to the Bills, which was gonna happen anyway. But the Chargers
Yeah.
should have beat the Texans.
Yes. I agree with that take wholeheartedly.
Well, the other thing, like the wild card race in the AFC this year was a little silly, because they had, like the Broncos were neck and neck with the Bengals for like the last couple of weeks, and people were throwing out around stats about like the Broncos have like 1 or 2 wins against teams that are above 5, or like against playoff teams in the regular season. And then the Bengals just started their season off won 2-7 or something like that.
Yeah, they were like
They were bad.
I think 0-4.
I think they were 0-4 at one point, and I think they were 3-7,
Yeah,
and then they went
Yeah.
6-1 in their last
they went
handful.
off. Joe Burrow should have
Comeback
been in the
player of the year.
playoffs. Comeback player of the year, not DeMar Hamlin.
I'm not disagreeing. I just think that was a crazy setup.
All right. Well, I'm getting the signal now from our producer Dan that is all the time we have.
Bullocks.
Joe, any closing words for us?
No, I'm glad we got through our elements. It was what? Thorium. What did you?
Zinc.
Zinc.
Or
and,
krypton.
And uranium.
Or Krypton?
Yes.
What is Krypton though?
A
No,
noble
leaving
gas.
that for the next
A
episode.
noble
Leaving
gas.
Krypton for the next episode. Thank you. This has been
What is a
3
no-
points.
Yeah.
No, excuse me. This has been 3
I don't
Points
know what a
podcast.
noble
Tyler
gas
Hero,
is.
congratulations. We're signing off.
What is a noble gas?